the game, cause see the boxing voice.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of The Squared Circle, the Sports Swami, only on ThaBoxingvoice.com. This man here will be fighting. It's going to be March 5th, only on Showtime. It's going to be at the Sands Bethlehem Arena. It's, well, a 12-round action-packed middleweight fight between Tony Harrison versus this man here. Once again, I give you the pride and joy of Salisbury, Maryland. It's Fernando Guerrero. Fernando, let's start off here with, you're getting back into bigger swing of things. After the PBC fight, you're moving on up. You're taking on a much better opponent. How excited are you about this? How excited are you now to get back on the bigger stage and fight a guy who, if you beat Tony Harrison, you're getting a title shot, probably?
Not probably. We're definitely getting a title shot. It's an honor just being with. I'm so honored to be one of the first to be without Haymon, and still I'm still one of his guys, and I'm excited about everything, and I'm even more excited about just coming back to the East Coast, close to home, and I know a lot of my family and a lot of my fans are going to be there, so it's just exciting all around.
Both you guys are action-packed fighters. You both will sacrifice defense for offense. That's how you fight, and that's how he fights. Do you feel that's in your best interest? And you have a guy now who, he comes to fight. He will drop his hands so he can throw a big punch. He will, sacrifice, high guard so that he can land a big right hook or an uppercut. Is that what you want? A guy who's going to stand in front of you and trade punches?
Yeah, it's way easier for me that way. I believe, I think it's easier to just watch. It's much TV friendly, to just two guys getting it on. Because if you really think about it, man, we're warriors. I mean, we're gladiators from back then. So if a lot of people want to see a lot of dancing around and all that other stuff, ballet or something like that, but they came to see a fight, and for me, it's just way better and fight friendly for everybody. So I think it'll work, of course, in my best interest, because that's what I am. I go by the name Warrior, by name, by heart, and that's what I'm going to show. But I think we all win. Everybody wins.
Break it down for us. Break it down. Tony Harrison, what do you see out of him? What does he bring to the table? What's different about him than the past guys you faced?
Well, I think Tony Harrison is a great fighter. I think that he brings a lot to the table, and that's why I'm so excited. I'm so excited to fight him because once when you fight a dude like him, then you beat him. Then there's no waiting around. Either or is gonna fight. Either or, we're gonna fight for a world title. So whoever wins this fight, which is gonna be me, of course, then I'll fight for a title. And then he'll have his turn later on or whatever. But breaking it down, it's an action-packed fight. I believe he has like 18 knockouts or whatever. I have 20. He's tall and rangy. I think it's one of those fights. If you wanna, he's from Detroit, and I'm from, the Maryland area. It's like a Sugar Ray Leonard and Tommy Henderson.
Are you more confident about this fight compared to others because of, I know we talked about last time, you have new training guys, you're working with a different team. Does it also help that he's not, unlike Peter Quill, he's not going to walk in there at 170 pounds. Unlike David Lemieux, he's not built like a linebacker. This isn't somebody who you look at and there is a chance that can get pushed around and, beaten up inside. Do you look at him and go, okay, I could be the bigger guy?
Exactly. It's like if anybody knows and understands boxing, I've always been in my disadvantage ever since the amateurs. I've always fought higher level, and then it's just my heart. It's for instance, like people, all they do is critique. It took all those rounds for Peter Clement to take junior middleweight down. Think about it that way. This guy, Peter Clement, and all those other guys that that I fought. Not even on my worst, out of shape, I could ever be as big as they get. They get to 180, 190, or whatever. My biggest is at least maybe if I really push it is 170. You know, I'm like an old throwback Fernando and all that stuff. You know, I stay around real close to my weight. Even when I was gonna fight Truex, the only reason why I went down was no brainer. I was 163, and I came in the scale. I was like 158. So I'm like, you know what, man? I'm just gonna go down. So now to answer your question, yes, I feel like that I'm with those hard hitters. You ain't gonna go harder than Lemieux and Kid Chocolate. So now, you know, all these kids are my son. You know, like I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna be and feel and mentally be the bigger guy. You know, and take control. Just like how I tried to take control with those other bigger guys, and I had to force my way in there. I'm gonna do the same thing. Nothing's gonna change. That's the weight that I am.
Last question, let's go. Once again, we've got it is Fernando Guerrero, aka the Warrior. We're talking all things, of course, BBC on Showtime. We're talking Tony Harrison here. After the Lemieux fight, there were a lot of people, probably myself, who were saying, well, maybe it's time to retire. You've been knocked out very violently. There were probably a lot of people who were calling saying, hey, maybe Al Haymon should let him go. And now you find yourself back, you know, in the swing of things. You're, you know, middleweight eliminator here. Winner of this will probably get next a shot against either Daniel Jacobs or even, if possible, a fight with Billy Joe Saunders. Are you surprised, or were you ever surprised that you weren't cut? We've seen other guys get cut. We've seen guys drop some. Were you surprised that Haymon didn't drop you? That after 3 losses, you just go, well, Fernando, we had a good run, but it's time we should part ways.
Yeah, no, I wasn't surprised. He talked to me every time, and a lot of times people just talk boxing. But when you know about life and when you know about everything that goes on, then you can critique and everything like that. People don't understand. They don't know anything about it. Nothing but what they see on TV, especially a person like you when you're doing the interviews and all that stuff. You can only go by what you think. But when I fought Peter Quillen, I was in the worst position of my life. I fought without my trainer. Imagine it's like right now you're saying that you're going to do an interview with me, and you're doing an interview by yourself, and you're speaking for Fernando Guerrero. It's a difference, you know. When I fought Lemieux, I didn't have a trainer. You know, I went all the way to Canada just because I think, you know, I don't care. It doesn't matter who they throw at me. Peter Quillen. When I went over there to play Peter Quillen, I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I don't care. I don't care if I have a trainer. I was training in a 24-hour fitness gym, you know, just because my trainer, Virgil, left. You know, so critique with everything, not just with the boxing, you know. But I understand. I understood that I had the skills, and just like there's something there. That's the reason why he found me. There's something there. I had 3 losses, and he's still with me. So then, why should I care about other critiques when you have a person that's putting money in me, and he's like, no, this guy, he's still a world champion. He talks to me every time, and he's like this, Fernando, we got this. Fernando, we got this. Fernando, we got this. And that's the motivation that I need. I don't need a promoter that loves me, and then I threw one bad jab, or I had one bad day, and they're like, nah, you suck. How many bad days, bad time, Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali, and all that stuff get beat and become the greatest in the world. So the thing is, for me, in my heart, I still believe this first thing. I still believe the same thing that I believe when I put those gloves on. I'm gonna be a world champion, and I'm gonna be one of the best. You know, and that's what I'm gonna stay with.
Well, there you have it. Once again, I give you it is a.k.a. Fernando Guerrero, a.k.a. the Warrior. We come back, we got a whole lot more only on It's the Squared Circle to Sports Swami, only on ThaBoxingvoice.com.
No other sight. in the game, cause see the